The Columbus Blue Jackets, 89 points, missed the playoffs, but did finish in the upper tier of the Metro. Missed the playoffs for the fifth straight season, and this club only has one playoff series win in their entire franchise history when they swept the Tampa Bay Lightning in the opening round in 2019. Big note for them offensively. Finished tied for seventh, 3.26 goals per game. But 16 times last season, they scored at least 6 goals in a game. So there is certainly a little bit of offensive pop on this club. The notable adds for the Blue Jackets during the offseason, Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood come in from Colorado in exchange for a prospect, Gavin Brindley, and 2 draft picks, and Hudson Fasching also signed as a UFA coming in from the New York Islanders. In terms of their signings, Ivan Provorov re-signs as a UFA with the Blue Jackets, 7 years, $8.5 million AAV, and Dante Fabro as well, 4 years at $4.125 million. They also re-up Owen Sillinger, Dmitry Voronkov as an RFA, and they also bring in defenseman Damon Hunt. So this is a very interesting club this year, Neil, because I believe they were looking to seek a new identity after the tragic death of Johnny Gaudreau, along with his brother Matthew. And they did that for most of the season. They were really riding the emotion. They were galvanized. And for all intents and purposes, it looked like they were a playoff-bound team after they played that outdoor game with the Detroit Red Wings on the 1st of March. They were 30, 22, and 8 at that time. And then they slipped badly. It was like that game was the tripwire to them slipping.
And while they slipped, of course, we know that Ottawa and Montreal put it into another gear. And that's what decided that bubble, as we had that bubble lock challenge, you'll remember.
Oh, yeah.
And the Columbus Blue Jackets fell back a little bit. I know that in an emotional way, we were all cheering for the Columbus Blue Jackets because of what happened with the Gaudreau brothers in the late offseason last year. I think this is going to be an interesting team. I think that the big question mark here, Vic, is can Dean Evason continue to motivate this team, continue to have a carrot to put in front of them like they had last year already built into their season because of that tragedy? Sean Monahan had a fabulous season. Ken Marchenkov, young Fantilli, is he going to take another step in the right direction? I expect that he will. Kent Johnson's a heck of a player. Boone Jenner was out most of last year with an injury. He's going to be back this year and healthy. And it's interesting, they got Charlie Coyle, who, from what I hear, is going to wear number 3. He wore number 13 when he was with the Bruins. And he'll be on a line. If he's on a line with the Sillinger wears number 4. So this might be the first time in a long time in the NHL we've ever seen 2 guys on the same line as forwards wearing number 3 and number 4. Talking about their defense for a minute, Zach Werenski had a great year for them. The best year of his career came in very close to the top in the Norris Trophy voting. Dante Fabro is a young up-and-coming defenseman. Let's talk about one of the things that we're all shocked about, and not in a positive way, is the signing of Ivan Provorov for 7 years and $8.5 million. I was stunned when I saw those numbers.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be able to get 7 years out of him. And I don't think he's worth $8.5 million. That's the one thing that I would question. You're not in the seat, so you don't know how hard it is when you're in Columbus to keep guys there that are really good players. But that is a big nut to have in your salary cap.
I want to talk about their drops and then circle back to the collective parts that are now with the Blue Jackets. Daniel Tarasov, backup goalie to Elvis Merzlikins, traded to Florida. So it looks like Jet Greaves will get the opportunity to be the full-time backup. Sean Kuraly signs as a UFA with Boston. Jordan Harris, who is part of that Patrick Laine deal with Montreal, he signs as a UFA with the Boston Bruins. Justin Danforth goes to the Buffalo Sabres, and James Van Riemsdyk signs as a UFA with the Detroit Red Wings. So now when you look at what's remaining with the club, and you'd mentioned Sean Monahan before, and he had a good season when he was able to play, but remember, he had that wrist injury that sidelined him for a good portion down the stretch. And, you know, when you look at this club that they went 4-11-1 down the stretch before winning their last 6, only to finish 2 points behind Montreal for the second wild card position, it just goes to show you what a fine line it is. And had Monahan been healthy, and had Boone Jenner been able to play for the entire season, this may have ended up much differently. But now, as we step forward, this is what the Blue Jackets are. And can they repeat this and be sustainable for 82 games as opposed to maybe 72?
And don't forget, the one guy you left out, Kirill Marchenko, sitting on the bench, taking a shot in the face with the puck, breaking his jaw, sitting on the bench, and had to miss games, and then came back with his mouth wired up and a cage on the front. So there was some bad luck there with their captain, Boone Jenner, sitting out. Sean Monahan, truly a leader on the team, especially with the Johnny Gaudreau friendship issue. We're gonna have to see. I think that they, again, are going to be a bubble team, but I think that their chances of making the playoffs are just as good as everybody that we've talked about, with the exception of the Hurricanes and the Devils. I think that the Hurricanes and the Devils are the cream of the crop of this division, but I think that the Blue Jackets are going to be right in the mix to get into the playoffs in the Metro.
Want to give out one shout out to, I think, a player that's become a favorite from around the league with his personality, his toughness, and also scored a career-high 18 goals last year. That's Matthew Olivier.
Yeah. Yes, he has become a favorite. He's certainly a favorite in Columbus, and deservingly so. He can score, and then he can turn around and fight you at the same time. So looks like he'll play on a line with Miles Wood, and we all know that Miles Wood has the ability to fine-tune the opponent now and then, too, with his body and his physical play. Yeah, I that's a good shout out for Olivier. He deserves it.